Hello everybody and welcome back to OMB Reviews. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you're doing well, and today I'm going to be doing a instant out of the theater review for Operation Fortune, the new Guy Ritchie film, which I believe I had heard got actually moved up in its release. And let me just say, I am so incredibly happy that it did, because let's just be honest, 2023 has not really been the great year of movies so far as the official releases are concerned, and I've been kind of waiting and hoping for a film that I could say is on my top list of films that I think might actually make my top 5 movies of the year. Finally, we have one. Thank you very much, Guy Ritchie, for once again delivering with your amazing films. And here in this case, and it's another film starring Jason Statham, he and Guy Ritchie work so incredibly well together, but also this reminded me a lot about, as far as my general liking of the film is concerned, to how much I liked The Gentleman, which was a phenomenal film from a couple years ago. And one of the reasons why I love The Gentleman so much was because it featured an amazing performance from Hugh Grant. Hugh Grant back once again in this film in a supporting role, and let's just say, it's another phenomenal performance from him, but he is not the one who steals the show. I actually got to give a huge shout out to Josh Hartnett. That's right, Josh Hartnett. Again, I always mispronounce words or names and sometimes, but he's phenomenal in this movie. I mean, I don't know what he's been doing the last several years, but he is a good fit for Guy Ritchie. Guy Ritchie was able to really do a great job getting a performance out of him that I don't think we've seen in his career. I don't watch a whole lot of Josh Hartnett movies, but hey, I will say this is probably the best one of his career. So him alongside many other people, including a performance that I did not expect to like at all, which was from Aubrey Plaza. I am not a big fan of Aubrey Plaza. I don't really find her shtick very amusing, but oh my goodness. Again, shout out to Guy Ritchie, was able to tone herself down, to tone that performance down, tone whatever personality traits she typically brings to her roles in, and was able to deliver just a great, funny performance. And that's what I really like about this movie. Not just about, I mean, obviously I've been spending a lot of time on the cast because the cast is phenomenal, and I don't think you really need me to tell you that, just based off of if you've seen Guy Ritchie films with these actors, especially before, the ones that he's worked with. I believe this might be the first one with Aubrey Plaza and Josh Hartnett. Could be wrong on that. But the writing of this film is also fantastic. This movie is just a perfect amount of funny mixed with action adventure, and some suspense elements as well. And I think that it really does pay off in an incredible way. I don't know the actor's name, but he plays the character JJ in the film, and he was also a very just underrated performance in the film. Again, another great performance that I could probably also speak very highly of if I knew much about that actor's career. But yeah, phenomenal. And let me just say that if there's any movie that is not going to get a lot of attention, it's not getting a lot of money at the box office, but is one that you will have a good time with, most likely, I would say this is going to be the film. If you have ever found yourself enjoying Guy Ritchie films, if you've liked the last couple of films he's done, including The Gentleman or Wrath of Man from also a couple years ago, I think that this will also be kind of up there on your list because it has all the things, checks all the boxes for me. It's got a great cast, great acting, actually phenomenal acting, great writing, a very fun story. Cary Elwes is also in this movie too. Again, I'm probably missing out on certain people because of just how many great performances there are in this film. But the score is fantastic. It's this very consistent beat, consistent rhythm you hear throughout the entire film from the very beginning. And that's something that I think has been really interesting with the recent Guy Ritchie films, is that he has been really doing a great job starting his films off very, very strong. And once again, similar to how Wrath of Man had a great starting scene, this one also, great starting sequence with Cary Elwes, with the score coming in very early on. And again, there's a lot of rhythmic, it's really hard to explain without you actually seeing it. And so the score, fantastic. Cinematography, phenomenal. There are some shots in this movie that I just could not help but say, oh man, I love that. I wish we had more of this type of creativity in Hollywood. There's a sequence in it, for instance, where Jason Statham has a gun and there's a camera that's been attached to the gun. And so as he's lifting it up, the camera goes up right with him. And it just looks really good. It just works very well. It makes everything so much more immersive and so much more entertaining to boot. So you have all of these elements, writing, score, acting, and then you add on top of that just all of the other things that a film might actually need. Sound design too. I was writing some notes down. Sound design, sound design. How many people often talk about sound design in a movie? But anytime they were on the phone with somebody, the sound was just right. Every time they were in a helicopter, for instance, and they actually used the headsets. That's something that always drives me crazy in films, when they're talking to each other, having a normal conversation in a helicopter, when in reality it's like it's gonna be so loud in there, there's no way you're gonna be able to do that. And they're able to show that and to have the sound working just right. People talking in the background in the helicopter without the headset on too. Again, getting that balance just right. All of these things from a technical standpoint, phenomenal. The story, fantastic, and also just downright entertaining to boot. I will say, if I had to have any criticisms of this movie, it would probably be that the film is maybe just a hair too long, maybe 10, 15 minutes too long. But ultimately, it's hard for me to think about what sequences I would cut from the film, because they were either really pertinent to the story or just really entertaining. I'm sure there's some things in there that could have tightened it up a little bit. Towards the middle, it starts to slow a little bit. It's like the pacing is just consistent for a good 30, 45 minutes, slows a little bit, and then it picks right back up again. And I guess in a movie, you kind of need to have that time to slow down. I don't ever really like that in particular, but other than that one slowdown part, as I said, the entire film is just fantastic. So if I had to give this film a grade, I'm going to go ahead and give this film a solid A, my first A of the year for a film to be released, I believe. And I will say, if Operation Fortune is playing near you, I highly recommend that you go and watch it. So have you seen Operation Fortune? If you have, let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. And also let me know if you enjoyed it as much as I did. I know that there's been some people who have been a part of the channel. By the way, shout out to Laura, because she always recommends these types of movies to me. And again, I cannot wait for the next Guy Ritchie film to come out this year, The Covenant, because that was on my list of most anticipated films. This one, I think, again, got moved up, and so I didn't know much about it. So glad it came out early. So glad I was able to see this film. And again, could not recommend it enough. But let me know if you had the same thoughts as well. Have a wonderful rest of your day, everybody. Indeed, I am rocking the hat today. It's a little cold, a little chilly here in Tennessee. And I'm also, of course, rocking my my Mountain Man jacket. Anyway, you guys are great. The lumberjack jacket. Have a wonderful day, everybody. And as always, God bless. And now for a huge shout out to all of my March Patreon, Subscribe Star, and local members at the Keeper of the Bifrost level and above. Starting off with Father Luca Illich, Garrett Searles, Chris from the 80s, who you can check out over his YouTube channel by the same name, Jaimir Irie Hymason, Joe Horn, Jonathan Carney, Orange at Reviews, you can check out over at his YouTube channel, Laura, the Modern Major General Story, Rosetta Allen, who you can check out at her YouTube channel, Eagle Writer, Miss Martin Muses, and you can check her out at her YouTube channel by the same name also. To my Subscribe Star members, Matt317, you can check out over at his Twitch channel, Matt317, Fast Reaction, The R, Mr. Roy, J-Rod, The Beer Guru, and ZK Man, who you can find out over at xtheboundaries.co. And lastly, to my locals members, Miss Minnesota Hockey Fan, How About a Hockey Player, J.H. Schwalbach, Brett D90, and the amazing lawyer, Robert Barnes. Thank you all very much for supporting me at the Patreon level, Subscribe Star level, and locals level of Keeper the Bifrost and above. If you want your name shouted out at the end of every live stream and every video, make sure to check out the top link in the video description to find out more ways that you can support the channel, including ways to get access to a podcast and also ways to get access to giveaways that I do on the channel, and also, of course, to my coveted Chosen of Valhalla level as well. You guys are all amazing and beautiful people. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and as always, God bless.